very first event that he held. In the last couple of years, it's been so tacky and heavy and fast that I showed up here ready to run flat out in qualifying, and we were far from that there.
It's got a little bit more power than we got.
His roll center looks a little high.
Well, there's a special car out on the racetrack, or should I say a special vehicle heading out to the racetrack, Martin.
Tony is now a promoter. Now he's a promoter.
Look at his face. He's going, I got to drive that?
Well, he knew he was driving a monster truck. He had no idea about the paint scheme.
And, of course, bringing back the days when he was running the Tide 17. Dick?
About that, Darrell.
That's amazing. They didn't show me this. I mean, the one they showed me didn't look anything like this. I saw that thing barking up off the corner there. I looked up, and here come the old Tide ride. All right.
And the paint and lettering are just for you as well. What do you think of this thing? 750 pounds for each of those tires. It takes a little while longer to change those than on a NASCAR pit stop.
I don't know, but I'm excited about getting to drive it around the racetrack a lap anyway, and this is really cool. It just brings back great memories. 1989, Daytona 500, baby.
How are you going to get into this thing, Darrell?
I might need a little help here, Doc. I might need to get a little goose or something.
All right, you can stand on my shoulders. 509 cubic inches in this thing. There is a blower on the top. It runs on methanol fuel. There goes Darrell. I think he does need a little help getting up in there. It's four-wheel drive, front and back. And everything in the suspension in this truck is homemade and extra beefy. The chassis itself is homemade. 4 shocks on each side, 4 shocks front and rear in this thing. It is a very unusual, very purposeful machine. And they run this thing in indoor truck meets during. I'll tell you what, Darrell is way up in the air in this thing. For those who are afraid of heights and don't like being up high, this is probably not what you would like to be into at this point. It takes a huge hydraulic jack to lift it up and put these big tires on it. The thing is so big it doesn't fit inside a trailer truck with these wheels on it. You have to take the wheels off, and they put much smaller wheels on so they can get it in the truck. It's quite an operation just watching them change tires. And the deal is here that in the meets that these things run in, you run over jumps and ramps and around corners and all the rest of it. And the deal is you got to be fast, but the truck has to be in one piece when the event is all done and over with. Sort of like racing on a dirt track at Eldora. You got to be fast, but it's got to be in one piece when it's over. Darrell's fired up.
Dick, I know one thing. He'd sure love to have that in a traffic jam. Just get out of my way, folks, or I'm going to run you over.
He got a quick schooling earlier, and the guy was explaining to him about different gears, and Darrell said, look, just put it in a gear, and I'll go from there. Just put it in one gear.
Oh, here we go. The roll center on this thing is so high.
He looks like a little kid sitting up in there.
Listen to the crowd. They're enjoying it, too. They're egging him on to get on it.
Well, he said he was going to test the waters down the back straightaway and then maybe give him a little show down the front stretch.
Well, we'll find out. Oh, gave a little blip.
And Marty, he's come a long way since driving a water truck a couple of years ago.
Look at the turning radius. He barely has to turn the wheel at all with all the power steering that this thing has.
I hope Jeff Hammond is watching this. For all the times that Darrell told him it was pushing like a dump truck, this may put a whole new meaning to that. Now, normally the rear wheels turn too, but I think what they've done, they've got it where right now on this thing, just the front tires respond to the steering wheel.
Did we get a lap time on that first lap?
Oh, I don't have a sundial up here.
Look at it. It's going to be fun to ask him how this thing actually handles. Crowd's loving it. They're still egging him on.
Oh, yeah.
A little more. A little more.
There he goes. Look at that thing rear up when he mashes the throttle.
Pushes it hard enough, all I see is blue sky. Now, if I were those guys, I think I'd be moving.
Yeah, till he comes to a complete stop.
Now we're good. Yeah, don't pull away now, DW, with that guy up underneath there. There you go.
Had to find the kill switch.
All right. Look at him. He's jumping up and down inside the seat. How about it? Darrell Waltrip. Woo!
I think the Gravedigger's safe right now. I don't think DW's ready for that.
It'll be fun to hear what he has to say when he gets down, and Dick can ask him exactly what the experience was like.
Holy smoke.
All right, Darrell Waltrip, what's it like in there?
I tell you what, it takes a real man to hang on to that thing. That thing has got the biggest tires and the biggest motor if I've ever sat in. Hammond made me up a lot of cars, you know, but he'd never make me up nothing like this.
Just watching you get in and out of this thing, is it harder to drive or harder to climb in and out of?
Doc, at my age, both.
Now, last year you drove Ripsaw here, and this year it's a monster truck. The year before that it was the water truck. Which was the most fun?
Well, the Ripsaw was a lot of fun, but they didn't. None of them had this kind of paint job on it. Having this paint job on this truck tonight and getting a chance to ride around the track here in it, big thrill for me. Certainly not anything like what these guys are putting on a great show here tonight in these cars, but what a neat deal. Thanks all these guys here for fixing this thing up for me and bringing it out here tonight, and just another fun evening in Eldora.
What do you think? Going to drive something strange again next year?
I'm going to drive one of them race cars one of these nights.
I think your wife is watching this show. You may be in trouble.
I'll slip in there. I'll come in as alias. I'll come in as Smoke Johnson.
Darrell Waltrip. Let's have a nice round of applause for him, folks. Darrell Waltrip.
All right, thanks, Dick. And there's some of the over 23,000 fans that we're expecting here tonight as the sun continues to set. And look at the view from high above here at Eldora.
Unbelievable crowd. I mean, the grandstands are full. They're sitting on the bank in the corners in the grass. I mean, in the weather, I know we had a little bit of a challenge a year ago, had to come back here in September, but it is absolutely gorgeous here.
Earl Baltus originally built Eldora. Of course, Tony Stewart bought it a few years back and has made improvement after improvement, and just has become a showplace for short track dirt racing.
Well, I watched Tony earlier today. We sat up here and watched him, and I mean, he takes so much pride in this place. He came here straight from Pocono and started working on the racetrack and the things that go along with it on Monday morning when he first got here.
Darrell swapping some stories down there and some of the guys, and I'm sure there's going to be a picture on the wall somewhere.
I'm sure there will be, to go right next to Ripsaw and the water truck.
Well, we talked about the fact Dave Blaney was second quick, right behind Clint Boyer. And, Dick, I think you've caught up with him?